That's right. The Royals are in command. They're roughing them up a little bit on the lines. They're not able to mount a ground attack at all.
Joe, what was that run there? What did we have on that big run there? 60 yards?
Yeah, it was about 60 yards.
Fantastic, fantastic play. All right, gentlemen, put the foot to it, fellas.
Jerome Gostin with the kick. Short line drive kick, and it's a line drive. It goes right to LeBrian Carrington. He's going to try and sweep to the outside. Oh, and he just couldn't elude a Royal tackle. Otherwise, he would have had a wall set up on the far side.
Looked like the Bulldog hanging on to the postman's foot there for a minute. He wouldn't let go.
Very well put, Wes.
First down, Maroons. Destiny is in your hands, fellas.
First and 10 at the 25. That's where Elgin will start. And Coach Stevens, I think, has to throw it up in the air a little bit. He's got Brady Bailey on one side, Jake Kilgore on the other. Bet Sayabong behind his center, Danny Tripp. And Sayabong drops back to pass.
You're right, Joe.
He's got Weber to tight end.
Great catch, a great catch. Popped him just when the ball got there, and certainly had the ability to hang on to that ball. Rick Short put a real good hit on him, but that receiver has octopus arms, I guess you'd call that, right, Joe?
Well, Greg Weber, he's a big tight end, 6 foot, 185.
That'd be the kind Ditka likes, I believe. Excellent catch for a first down, of course, and a real nice way to start out their drive by the Maroons here. It looks like they're heading south, and that's where the goalpost is.
No, you got to put it up, you know what I mean? 14-0, and you haven't been able to do a thing on the ground, so we'll see what happens. Sayabong barks out the signals, and he's going to drop back to pass again.
First down pass, Joe.
And it's caught by Ronnie Washington. Eludes a tackle.
Very nice little move, trying to step over that first tackler that was down on his knees. He just stepped over his arm to get around him, and boom, he got popped. Was a nice move. He got another extra yard out of it.
Okay, call it a gain of 9. 2nd and 1. Ball at the 49.
Nice place to be. 2nd and 1, Joe. Leaves you a little option here as a coach to maybe experiment. This could be an extra credit play.
Extra credit. That always helps out when the grades are going sour. Sayabong takes a look. Drops back to pass. It's a draw.
Nice call. A nice call. Good block coming up here. Beautiful block.
It's at the 40, and he's tackled at the 38-yard line.
A real nice call.
Nice call is right, Wes. I think Larkin sort of got lulled to sleep saying, uh-oh, they're going to pass on us again, and they fooled them with Boney.
We got to give credit to Greg Weber on that very nice block right in the center of the field there to spring that for another 5 or 6 yards. Very nice play.
And I think, Wes, that blocks, you know, in the middle of the field is something that gets overlooked, and it's good that you were able to pick that out.
You know, you see blocks like this in high school level, you know, and kids in the enthusiasm of wanting to throw and level somebody have the tendency to throw that illegal block, you know, the one that's that block below the waist, etc. And here's Weber, an opportunity to spring his man. He threw a nice chest block, hit him right on the numbers, and took a potential tackler right out of the play. You notice we haven't seen that many little yellow flags flying around here. A little encroachment play here and there. Another false start, but for the most part, we're flagless.
No, just good force football. Sayabong, 1st and 10 at the 38-yard line. Backs the pass, and eludes a rush. Jerome Gostin's on him. Oh, let's see, does he come up with the catch? No, he does not. It's incomplete. But Sayabong did a nice job eluding the tackle and then
getting
the
sure did on
off.
that one. He had a defender coming right at him there. In fact, his own man trying to help out and block there literally pushed that blue shirt right at him, put him in even more danger to tackle.
Jake Kilgore, the intended receiver on that, just gave it all he got. A great dive to try and come up with the ball, but just couldn't come up with it.
We're throwing the ball now on first down a little bit more often here. They're starting to smell it out a little bit, freeing those linemen to come directly for that quarterback. We may be going to have to keep him honest here and throw a draw at him.
Okay, single receiver, far side. Split backfield, Sayabong.
Inside handoff. Looks like no gain, Joe.
Nope. Got to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it. Boney wasn't able to weave anywhere.
Coming down to a minute and 30 with a 3rd and 10, Joe. This will be an important play for Elgin. They're going to have to demonstrate that they can pick up a first down. They're big play.
You have to demonstrate that they can come through when their backs are to the wall, and they're pinned up against the wall right now. Sayavong, receivers draped left and right. Sayavong drops back to pass, heaves it over the middle, and it's let's see, it's intercepted. Intercepted. Sayavong just threw the ball, just up for grabs. Brett Nemers came up with the interception, so he catches them on the offensive side, and he catches them on the defensive side.
Big rush by Joel Jossert on that play. Made him get rid of that ball a little bit earlier than he wanted to, Joe. In fact, he really got decked on that. Great rush by Gossard on that.
Ball was intended for number 30, Ron Washington, but he had his back turned to the ball. So, Elgin, the handoff to Talon. And a good safe 5 yards. With about 48 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter, Larkin's on top, 14-zip.
Up by 2 touchdowns on your opponents. The clock becomes your pal right now, and it's a nice time to keep putting a little oil on it and keeping it running. A little ball control coming up, Joe, looks like.
Oh yeah, you could expect Larkin to keep it on the ground. Coach Haley is very happy at this point. And the give is to Iser, and he muscles for about 3 yards. So we're looking at about 3rd and 3 at the 33-yard line. And that's it. That's the 3rd quarter. And Larkin is in total control, leading this ball game 14-0. We'll be back with the 4th right after this.
Luigi's Pizza gives you piping hot pizza, delivered or carry-out, and much more. Bring the team in uniform for that post-game celebration and get a special deal. Or just stop by with the family and enjoy Luigi's tasty hot pizza. Parties too big? Not for Luigi's. We'll cater up to 400 people with a very selective menu. And if you can't fit them all at your place, reserve our spacious back room for the occasion. Or join the birthday club. Luigi's Pizza, the place for sports, family, and fun. Pick up the phone and say hello to Luigi's.
Okay, we're back for 4th quarter action. Joe Snydoff sitting alongside Wes Pollender. And Wes, the Royals are running the show. They're in charge, 14-0.
Yes, it's nice to be in the driver's seat. You got 14 points up on the board. Your opponents have not scored yet. They've had a couple of opportunities. Final 12 minutes of play, you've got the ball, and you want to get that clock cranking. So on the snap, we're rolling.
And it's 3rd and short. Greenhagel tries to muscle it himself. And that offensive line, did you see it? It just moved.
Good surge.
The Elgin,
Good surge, Joe.
Defensive line all the way back. That shows me, hey, we want this game. So, 1st down.
This Greenhagel's got some very nice moves, whether it's quarterback sneak, nice moves on the option. We've seen a couple of spinning tacklers just bouncing off that hip pad, and he's carried it with him.
1st and 10 at the 36. Double tight ends, Greenhagel. Just a quick feed to Talon, and he can only muster about 2.
Might have got a couple. I
And
think they knew that. We got a late flag here. Looks
So,
like as the back judge coming into the play, he saw a little bit of a after-action dead ball pushing. We're going to have an unsportsmanlike call here.
Let's see. Personal foul on the Royals. Personal foul on the Royals. So maybe it was one of those 2-on-1s, and I think that they were sort of picking on
official coming over to tell Coach Haley what he had here, and
LeBrian Carrington, I think, was the guy involved with a couple of Larkin players.
I think you're right. Both officials kind of walking across the play now. They'd like to get this ball game continuing again.
Coach Stevens looking on. Has to be wondering, you know, if his defense could come up big here and give the offense another shot, you know, and hopefully they won't turn the ball over. But, you know.
Maybe a little equal time, Joe. When you're the coach on the other side of the field and two officials are talking to your opponent, you know, all the way across the field, he's saying, well, what are those guys talking about? I'd like to hear a little of that, too.
Good observation, Wes. Okay. Greenhagel back to pass. Looking long and overshoots numbers.
Slightly overthrown, good protection, drop back. I like very much the way this young man looked off his receiver nicely. Brought him up, let him run his pattern. Pretty good two defenders on him. I wouldn't say he purposely overthrew him there, but a nicely thrown ball, a little long.
So we're looking at a 3rd and 20 from the 27. That personal foul really set him back. So Elgin needs to get a hold of the ball, and they need to score. Greenhagel brings his troops up to the line. Barks out the signals behind Donnie Kaufman, and he drops back to pass. He's looking long again, and is picked off, and this one might be a score. Chris Brooks is going to score for the Maroons. They needed a big one, and they got it. And they got it in the name of Chris Brooks. Just a stupid play by Greenhagel.
One of the corners blitzed on that play, Joe. Very nice. Forcing Greenhagel to put up a little wounded duck there somewhat. I was trying to pick up that number on that. That looked like Rob Walker coming in there, throwing in a blitz on him. And put a very nice hit on Greenhagel and caused him to not have a final finish on that pass. It was a bit of a wounded duck.
And you have to try and, I don't know where the play calling was on that. I mean, you're deep in your own end. You know, you don't need to go throwing anything up for grabs. You got the game in control, you know. Run the ball, punt it away.
Joe, I'm having to agree with you with that. You're not going to get an argument from anyone sitting next to you. 10:40 on the clock. That maybe a little bit overconfident there. They've been moving the ball on the ground and in the air. They have had very good pass defense, but taking a quick look at Elgin, the Maroons there, I don't believe they had blitzed them until that play. Both coaches out on the field now. Give some instruction to their two teams. Ray appearing to be a man of few words. Must have managed to get the instructions out in less than one paragraph, and he's coming off the field.
And I think it's going to take Coach Stevens a few pages to get his point across. As, he
Joe,
jogs off the field.
Joe, when you've been at this for 28, 29 years, you kind of know what to say, don't you?
Get it done. Okay, Boney's kick afterwards is good. Okay, 14-7.
Big foot. He had a lot to spare with that one.
We seen him try a 43-yarder earlier and just come up a few yards short.
Well, that was a important turnaround, Joe. You know, it's putting them back within knocking distance, you know, bringing in with a nice interception and a score like that, 14-7. They're back in the ball game.
Oh, that was a big turnaround. The Maroon fans still want to see this game knotted up. They're not exactly whipping it up too much over there.
Larkin people on their feet here, Joe. They want to see a run back on this kickoff. They're up, exhorting their boys to take it and roll.
So Eric Boney will give it a boot to Iser and Schneider, the deep backs for the Royals.
Either guy could do it, couldn't he, Joe?
Here's the kick, and it's going to go to Jimmy Schneider, and he lets it roll in the end zone, and we got a touchback.
Okay, cross the goal line, and it's a dead ball there.
He's got him.
Bringing it out, 1st and 10 for the 20, and we have 10:37 on the clock in the fourth quarter.
14-7 to score. And the Maroon defense will once again try and stymie the Larkin Royals offense and Roger Greenhagel. As you mentioned, the blitz was coming from Rob Walker. I think it's up to the defensive line to stop the run. Greenhagel. It's the give to Talon.
Staying on the ground, isn't he, Joe?
Oh yeah. And a gain of 5.
Yes, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to understand how to keep the clock moving.
Nope.
Cranking down to coming up will be 10 minutes by the time this snap takes place.
And we'll see if the Elgin Maroons defense can come up big here once again. Greenhagel, the quarterback, under Kaufman. He's on the option, and he gets hit, and he gets hit hard. Carrington in there.
I think it was wise to put that ball away, Joe. That was Chris Ballard also in there on that stop. There was a momentary flash must have gone through his mind whether I'm going to flip out and make the pitch out or not, but I think it was very wise to put that one away.
So we'll see on this call if Haley wants to take the chance again and put it up. It's an interesting call here.
We're getting a little line play here, a little extracurricular activity here after some of these plays. We're going to have to watch the officials kind of put a heavy hand on that and stop some of that.
Okay, 3rd and 5, ball at the 25. Greenhagel, he's got numbers to the near side. He's on the option, and he gets wrapped up. And we got a flag. Nope. Wait a minute. Face mask against the Maroons. Holy cow, what a big call.
Very important call. Would have been 3rd and probably 6. This one will give them the first down.
And a 15-yard penalty comes right here. So those extracurriculars came into play, Wes, as you were saying. A little bit of fighting on the front lines.
They were watching them. This is a veteran crew out there working this ball game. Howie Burns, the referee, with the 4 other gentlemen, all of them basically 15 to 25-year veterans.
Okay, Greenhagel. The give is to Talon, and he gains about a yard. 8:42 and counting. 2nd and 7.
Elgin's got to get that ball, Joe. They know it.
They got to get it, and they got to put it up.
I think we can look for a little ball tackling to start take place here. They've got to get that possession back and get back in this ball game.
Okay, we'll see if Larkin can come up big here. 2nd and 7. Fakes the pump fake, and now he's going to go long. And Elgin read that one. LeBrian Carrington and Keith Hyatt on the coverage. That was a smart move. Double teaming Brett Numbers. Very smart, because Brett Numbers is their big play man.
Carrington took one look at that pump fake, Joe. He said, this ball's not going anywhere. I don't believe that was a very convincing pump fake. Because no one really bought that.
It was a nice call, because Carrington read it well. He said, I don't think that you're going to throw a little out here. I think you're going for the home run. Greenhagel, 3rd and 7, ball at the 43. He's got Schneider in motion. Drops back to pass, and he's got Iser, and he can't hang on.
Didn't hold on to it. Very nice pattern on that. He had 2 of his wide men going deep, and he just came around in, tucked in under him. He was open. Ball was laid in there nicely, but just couldn't quite find the handle.
So, we'll see if Elgin can come through here. Brett Numbers is the punter. He's averaging 32 yards a boot.
Had to turn it over, Joe, on what was a very nice call on 3rd down there. That was a nice play.
That was a nice play, and Greenhagel just let Iser a little too much.
I think you're right.
So,
well, the gentlemen from Elgin Maroons are going to get the pigskin back.
Ronnie Washington and LeBrian Carrington are the deep backs for the Maroons. Here comes the snap. It's a wobbly one. Numbers with a 2-step drop, and he gets it off.
Kind of hit a knuckler.
Punt, but it takes a Larkin roll, and it goes out at the 24-yard line.
Action on that ball, but Elgin Maroons taking it over now with 7:57 on the clock. The opportunity they're looking for. And of course the Royals here are defensively coming out there, talking among themselves, that defensive line that's so big, saying here's where we got to stop them, fellas. This is, in a nutshell, kind of the ball game, what this possession does.
Gut check time.
You got it.
Okay. Sayavong underneath the center, and they give the handoff up the middle, and he got about 2.
I think that was a good call, Joe. Just picked up a little traffic there, you know, and a couple of fender benders while he was trying to drive up the road. He didn't really have a clear lane.
He tried to break Boney up the box, and he only picked up a yard. So 2nd and 9. Ball at the 26-yard line. 7-12 and counting. Memorial Field. 14-7. Larkin leads.
Joe, they were looking for that quick opener again that we saw that 60-yard run back before. You know, you got to spring one man, get that center linebacker knocked out of there, and whammo, it's off to the races. We got some quick people in that backfield.
Very quick. And we'll see what Elgin can do.
Nice play
He's
action.
looking towards the near sideline. Sayavong is dumped.
Both deep receivers well covered on that. He had to eat that ball. No one was open. Big fella, Pat Lane, going deep. And he had double coverage on that. He wouldn't want to risk throwing that one up.
And a few of the Elgin assistants a few doors away, and you can hear him saying that the receiver was on the wrong side. And the play was a bust. Sayavong was sacked. And we're 3rd and 10, 3rd and 11. Ball on the 25-yard line, and they need a big one here.
This is a big play, Joe's right.
Sayavong.
Nice.
Receivers draped left and right. Kilgore and Brady Bailey. Split backfield. Sayavong back to pass. Has some time. Lets it fly.
Boom.
And I thought he was trying to get Weber, but the ball just bounced in front of a group of Maroons.
Big hit. Big hit on that.
Adam Robledo.
Boy, got in there and just laid him flat, and he's still down.
I think it might be
I'm sorry,
it's
that
Robledo who made the hit.
Yeah, how about
Sacrificed
that?
himself.
Looked like he might have caught a knee or something unintentionally, of course. Sometimes you go down, you catch a knee up in the stomach or something, knocks the wind out of you momentarily. A very good tackle.
So Elgin will have to punt it away. 5:37 remaining in the 4th. Boney will kick. Heiser and Schneider. Here's the boot. High and deep. Heiser calls for the fair catch.
Fair catch signal, and he holds on to it nicely. That was a very big possession, Joe. We'll have to remember that one at 5:37, what have you. They had to turn the ball over. I think this was a very crucial point in this ball game right there. They really didn't get out of their own territory at all, and they're still basically in this ball game. You know, at 14-7, they had the ball, and here now they have to give it back, and that old enemy, the clock, is going to be eating at them again.
We're at 5:30. Green Hagel ducks behind Kaufman, and he just takes it right up the middle himself.
That was a nice call for about 5 or 6 yards. I like that one.
That was a nice call. Green Hagel.
He's a hard man to bring down, Joe, isn't he?
He is. He's very strong, very big, and picked up about 6 there. 7. Let's call it 2nd and 3.
Very good game.
Ball on the 43. Green Hagel got numbers to the near side. 3 in the backfield, and to give us to Talon right up the box. Gain of about 1.
A little quick opener just following his center, it looked like.
And Coach Ray Haley is just going to keep it on the ground here. The Elgin defensive line, they need to come up with a big play here on a long 3rd and 1. Let's call it 3rd and 2. Ball at the 45.
This is a toughie. Either way, both teams want their success story told right on this play.
Both teams digging in. Greenhagel takes it himself, and he got it. He got it easily.
Boy, I'm amazed he's done it again. That's about just the previous series, you know, gets hit by about 1-2 tacklers, and all of a sudden he comes darting through for another 3-4 yards.
And he just hopped on Kaufman's back and rode him like a cowboy and picked up the first down.
Coach Haley's still alternating receivers or what have you, bringing plays in. And that clock is chewing away, and we're coming up shortly to 3:45 in the ball game.
1st and 10 at the 50. Larkin with a 7-point lead. Give us to Iser, and he gets about 2. And this is a rivalry game, so you'll see a few of those extra sticks if a guy's floating on top of the pile.
Picks up a good gain. A host of white jerseys are there finally to meet him and throw him back about 2 yards. But of course, his momentum and establishes his gain. The important thing is that the Royals are staying on the ground and eating up that clock.
2nd and 7 at the 47 of Elgin. 3:08 and counting. Greenhagel will take it again. And he gains about 2. So we're looking at about a 3rd and 4 at the 44. 2:53, 2:52. Time running out on Elgin. Larkin. Maybe wrap it up here with another first down. But they need 4 big yards.
Brett Nemers brought that play in that last time. Let's see if they may not be going to him.
Okay, Greenhagel ducks underneath the center. Full house backfield, and it's an option play. And he gets the first down.
Could be good enough. Larkin fans wanted a encroachment call on that, but the officials did not feel he entered into the neutral zone. And the play continues, of course, and Larkin picks up the first down, and we're coming up to 2:14 on the clock.
And you would think Elgin would be aware of that option because Greenhagel is such a good runner.
That's for sure.
Talon is is good up the middle, and so is Schneider. And there goes Greenhagel again.
Boy, he just follows his center, doesn't he?
He must be doing a number on Danny Tripp because he's averaging about 5 yards just right up the middle. And talking about power football, Wes, you're seeing it right here. And we got 1:40. Elgin not taking any timeouts.
Little shot of our fans here looking at this big ball game, realizing they're getting very close to bringing home a winner.
Okay, Greenhagel, 126, 125, 2nd and 6. The give is to Talon, and he gets about 3. And now they call a timeout.
Pickup of about 3, brings up a 3rd and 3.
So, 3rd and 3. The ball's on the 30. They got to get to the 27.
Timeout, Elgin, and that is their first, Joe. Is that correct?
That's correct.
First timeout. They have 2 left. Then
They got 2 left, so they got to stop them here on the run. Sure, Larkin will run. Call the timeout. Maybe go about 110. And I think what Larkin will do, will punt with Brett Nemers, and he'll try and pin them at around a 10 or 5. And if you're going to tie it up on us, you're going to have to go about 90 yards with 1 timeout with about 1 minute.
You're right. It's a difficult situation here. We talked about a couple of previous possessions. The one we go back to the 5 minute and 37 seconds where Elgin had the ball and admittedly deep in their own territory. They had to go for maybe the 20 or 25, the whole length of the field, and here they didn't even establish any real ball control, let alone getting any first downs, and of course wound up punting the ball. Whether it's football or basketball, you name it, the sport, sometimes these outcomes of these ball games are basically all decided in the last 2 or 3 minutes of the ball game. You know, you have to establish some important scoring or move the ball towards the end of the ball game.
And a very hard-hitting affair. Defensive struggle, both teams. Larkin and Elgin, crosstown rivals. These neighbors taking it to each other, nailing each other. Greenhagel, 3rd and 3. Here it is. And the give is to Iser. And he's got the first down.
He's got it, Joe. You're right. A nice call. Some very good line surge on that. Just carried that running back right with him. Fans here standing up. They really like that run. That was a nice first down. There's a lady standing up here with a blue warm-up jacket on. I might believe that might have been the ball carrier's mother. She's awfully enthusiastic.
There's a lot of happy Larkin fans because
that was a very nice run.
that jug is going to move out of Mike Rogowski's office, the Elgin athletic director, and it's going to go to Ray Haley. Greenhagel, 1st and 10 at the 26. He just keeps it himself.
A little bit over the top action. Basically academic now. We're coming down to 30 seconds on the clock, and we're going to have another timeout here, Joe. The Elgin Maroons used their second timeout with 33 seconds left in this crosstown rival ball game.
And I think it was a good Larkin defense that it didn't give Elgin a thing offensively, except for a few bony runs up the middle for his 48 yards in the first half, and that's about it. It's just played a tremendous ball game. On the other side, Larkin's offense did a nice job mixing up the plays. They could have a lot more than 14 points on the board right now if it wasn't for a few mistakes. The nice call to Carl Talon, the 60-yard run to set up Greenhagel, and then the 45-yard bomb to Brett Nemmers. So just a well-balanced attack by Larkin offensively and defensively, Wes.
Yeah, it's been a very nice ball game. Nobody has come out and buried anyone here. Both teams were in this ball game. I'm impressed with Roger Greenhagel, what he's done. He throws the ball. It's a very nice finish on it. He's a big young man, very strong. He's had a number of nice basic almost quarterback draws. He's not dropping back that far, but boy, he's been following his center nicely. 6, 4, 3-yard runs. He's had a very fine ball game.
Okay, 33 seconds left in this one. Greenhagel again over Kaufman.
Greenhagel on the carry.
And looks like he's done it again. Joe picked up another 3 yards, and the Elgin Maroons are using up their last timeout with 29 seconds left.
Disappointed Elgin team weren't able to move the ball, mount any kind of attack, and Larkin wasn't luck. It was just a good solid played football game.
It's got to be tough, Joe, when you're a senior and your high school career is coming to an end as far as football. Football is such a great team sport. It's something that you got 11 guys out there knocking heads. You're doing something as a unit. It's not like golf or tennis where you're an individual out doing something. And some of these seniors out here playing on both sides of these two fine Elgin teams, Larkin and Elgin, will remember that I played high school football back in '89, and we had a good time playing together. Many of them will never go beyond this. Some of them obviously are going to go on to college, what have you, but whether they're ever going to be college football players, we won't know.
Okay, 29 seconds. This will be the last play as Greenhagel just drops back and falls to the turf.
He kind of downed himself on that one. Rob Getz was in there to kind of put a little capper on it just to finish it off, but now we know the clock is going to run out with 13 down to 10. We're just going to let it run out there. Out of timeouts.
Okay.
It's been a nice ball game.
4, 3, 2, 1, and Larkin is the king of Elgin. The Royals come up with a big win, 14-7 over crosstown rival Elgin. Coach Stevens, Coach Haley will meet two masterminds that just had a great war of the minds, and just a fantastic ball game, 14-7. Larkin winds up on top. Big offensive plays, the story for the Royals offense. For Elgin, they got a turnover and ran it in, but that didn't spark them enough, because the spark didn't ignite a flame, and Larkin came up with a 14-7 win, and they are the king of Elgin.
We're taking a look out at that center of that field now, Joe, and it's some good sportsmanship being demonstrated out there. The whites and the blues are shaking hands and saying nice ball game, and probably some of these kids went to the same grade school together and wound up maybe going to a different high school, and I'm sure many of these players know each other, and
Sure.
it was a very good ball game by two fine teams and two veteran coaches, and it was our pleasure to bring it to you, Joe. It was a fine ball game.
Excellent played ball game. 14-7 the final. Larkin winds up on top. We'll be back right after this.
The Center for Disease Control today estimates between 945,000 and 1.4 million Americans are HIV positive. In time, almost all of these people will develop AIDS, and later they will die. Get the facts and stop the clock before it stops you.
Okay, we're back at Memorial Field, where the Larkin Royals have beaten the Elgin Maroons 14-7. Good ball game. In the third quarter, Roger Greenhagel went in from 7 yards, and the Cinco kick was good to make it 14-7. And booster lead to a touchdown. Chris Brooks then in the fourth quarter on a 35-yard interception return made it 14-7. The kick by Boney was good, and they were in the ball game, but couldn't do anything after that, Wes. Seemed like Larkin controlled it on the ground the rest of the way.
Yeah, they certainly did. It was a nice ball game to watch. You know, it was funny. There were a number of those ball games going on this evening, and we were privileged to be here and cover this one. We had the Battle of the Napervilles. Naperville North was at Central, and we had the two Wheatons locking horns. Wheaton North was at Wheaton Central, and over in Aurora, West Aurora was at East. And then we had this very fine ball game. We had the Maroons of Elgin playing the Royals of Larkin, and Larkin coming out on top on a somewhat reasonably balanced ball game. There were a couple individual plays, but for the most part, it was a pretty well-balanced ball game.
Balanced, especially on Larkin's side, where the offensive defense turned in performances, and the jug was just presented to Larkin. That'll be in Ray Haley's office. So, from Memorial Field, I'm Joe Snidoff with Wes Pollender. We're going to have to hook up again, Wes. A 14-7 final. Larkin winds up on top. They are the King of Elgin. Good night from Memorial Field.